What's up, everybody? You were tuned in to the Cris Style and
Mal.
Podcast, episode 6. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's our Monday, it'll be your Wednesday. So everybody's having a good Wednesday morning. What's going on, Ma? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother, man. Can't complain. How you doing today?
It's cool. Can't complain.
Yeah,
A little tired, but I'm straight. I'm
I feel
straight.
you on that. I feel you on that.
But got a lot of things to get into, man. Let's go ahead and start this show off, brother.
Let's do it.
Man, we didn't get to get into it. We were supposed to talk about this last episode, but the
Hmm.
ESPN layoffs.
Yeah.
Now, there was a lot of significant layoffs this past month.
Hmm.
Some of the more notable names is Jalen Rose, Jeff Van Gundy, Todd McShay, Max Kellerman, David Pollock, Steve Young, Matt Hasselbeck, Keyshawn Johnson, just to name a few, and Susie Colbert.
Hmm.
Now, those are some like top tier, analysts, commentators who've been doing it for years.
Hmm.
And the more surprising one is probably Max Kellerman and Todd McShay. Todd McShay's been talking about the draft for years,
Yeah.
and with Mel Kiper, and to see him, them not, I'm sure he'll get a job or do something. He's built up enough equity for him to do his own thing, or at least get on with somebody else. But it's still surprising that some of these major hitters on ESPN that have graced our TV screen for years are now gone and are being replaced with people that probably not up to the stature that those names were. So, but
Right.
we'll
Right.
see. You never know. They might surprise us. But
Right.
especially Max Kellerman, he's if anything, their best boxing analyst. Outside of probably Teddy Atlas when he was there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
to see Max Kellerman leave was, that was kind of crazy. So,
Yeah.
well, what's your thoughts on all these layoffs?
Well, I just want to get, obviously start off, with, thoughts to them, man. Hopefully all those guys, get back on their feet, yeah, honestly, I'm right there with you, man. I thought Max Kellerman was a complete shock because I feel like he is the boxing division as far as like for ESPN. He is the go-to guy for boxing. So I'm kind of curious to see the route that they go with who they're going to replace, or are they going to, I would assume they would continue their boxing coverage. As how big boxing has become this past year with all the big fights and the bigger fights coming up with Terrence Crawford and the Canelo fight. I thought Jalen Rose was a big surprise to me as well. I thought Jalen was one of the better NBA analysts that they had. So I was pretty shocked with that. Jeff Van Gundy too. I was very shocked about that. It just sucks. I know they did this all based off of they're trying to it's like a big restructuring thing going on. I know they're under the company Disney. So they're trying to save a lot of money right now. So they also signed I think a lot of the layoffs have to do with obviously they did sign Pat McAfee to a new $85 million deal.
Yeah.
So maybe that has some things to do with that, try to as they say, clear up cap space for
Right.
new talent. You know what I mean? So, as you said, right now it's kind of dry right now. With no offense to everybody that's doing it, doing some of the coverage right now, but it is a little bit dry compared to some of the personalities we are accustomed to. I come from the days of like Stuart Scott, Scott Van Pelt,
Mm-hmm.
Susie Colbert, Chris Berman, Tom Jones, all those guys, man, and then they had so many personalities on ESPN. You could tell just by the commercials that they did. They had some of the greatest commercials of all time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it just sucks, man. But it comes with the territory with every company, man. Every company, goes through these where people get cut and all that. All we can do is just hope that the new talent that comes about can replace the guys that were lost, and maybe there's still an outside shot that can get Shannon Sharp, to get it. But I know there are some other things that he may have in line. I heard he might take over what Pat McAfee was doing on YouTube with FanDuel. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, man, it just sucks. A lot of these guys I did like, I did like the Andre Ward, David Pollock was cool. Tommy Shea was really great at his analysis with the draft, man. Between him and Tommy Shea, I was always more Todd guy than Todd guy than a Mel Kiper guy.
Right.
But Mel Kiper's still good at his job. Keyshawn Johnson, so as I said, man, hopefully all those guys get back on their feet. I'm sure they will. HBO, man, bring HBO boxing back. Max Kellerman, bring all that back, man, because I feel like it's a perfect time for that too.
Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate that they had to get cut and laid off, but I'm pretty for sure most of them could land back on their feet because they have built up equity, as over the years of being top tier, commentators, analysts at their field. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can get back sooner than later.
Do you have any idea who you think should, especially the boxing? The boxing one's the most curious one for me. Do you have any ideas who you think could replace a Max Kellerman? I know they got Teddy Atlas, but I really can't think of anybody else, honestly. Because who do they have now? Who do they have left?
But Teddy's so old school that he's not going to appeal to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
He's too knowledgeable. Like you could be too knowledgeable in the field that you don't know how to convey it to the people. Like John Madden, what made John Madden so great was he could convey it to the masses of breaking down plays. Well, you see this guy right here, and you know what I'm saying, like the way he used to break down plays. Well, that's what Max Kellerman was good at.
Yeah,
Max could convey it to the masses that are casual boxing fan and the purists out there, like me and you who watch boxing,
Yeah.
So I don't know. They probably had to hire somebody unless they got somebody like an intern or somebody waiting in the ring, some young dude that knows his stuff that's coming up. They probably gonna have to hire somebody probably with the cheaper than what they were paying Max. So.
Nah, yeah, absolutely. And then obviously Undisputed is going through their little transitioning too. So I've heard rumors about maybe Max Kellerman could be possible replacement for Shannon. All that type of stuff too, which I'm sure we'll get into later on. But yeah, man, I'm just curious. I'm kind of curious to see where Max Kellerman goes. I'm not sure if he has a podcast or anything like that. It would be great if he did.
He had that radio show with Keyshawn and Jay Williams.
But I think it would be dope if he had like another boxing podcast, because I think the one I listen to is Chris Mannix. I like Chris Mannix' podcast a lot with boxing. But I think Max Kellerman would kill it. Anything Max Kellerman does with boxing, he's one of the greatest, most knowledgeable guys. And the way he presents it to you in such a unique fashion, the way he does, man, he's dope, man. So I'm pretty sure out of everybody, Max Kellerman will definitely be one of the ones that bounces back on his feet. But hopefully he gets a good spot with boxing, because as we've been talking about, boxing is getting back on the map as far as like big time fights, excitement, all that.
They don't bring back HBO, HBO Box or Max Boxing, whatever you want to call it now.
Something.
They don't bring that back, then Showtime.
Showtime, yep.
Steven Espinoza. Go get Max Kellerman.
Yeah, especially for the Crawford fight. He should be doing the covers for that for sure.
Go get Max Kellerman. Speaking of Undisputed, you talked about it. Is it Skip Bayless's demise?
Mm-hmm.
Now we all know that recently Shannon Sharp left the show and Skip went on a hiatus, looking for his new host. Were rumors out there that it's not going too well. He really can't find, like, either people don't want to work with him or he just can't find the right mix. Now we all know Skip Bayless. He's when you speak of sports debate, you got to put Skip Bayless's name in there. As much as you may like him, hate him, whatever. Mm-hmm. Skip Bayless did bring sports. He was one of the people that brought sports debate to live TV. He really did. So with First Take. And then when he came over to Fox Sports, he did Undisputed with Shannon. It was one of our top, regardless if you couldn't stand the topics, it was still one of somebody was watching the show. Yeah. Somebody's watching Undisputed. Yeah. Y'all make me laugh with this whole nobody watches that show. I don't watch that show. Okay, you don't watch the show, but somebody's watching it because the ratings are up. You know what I'm saying? They get millions of watchers. So somebody's watching it. The world is bigger than where you live at. So
for real, yeah.
People are watching the show. Mm-hmm. So now that he's lost Shannon, do you see this to be in the demise of Skip Bayless?
Demise is a very strong word. You know what I mean? I think it's definitely slowed him down. You know what I mean? Just because at the end of the day, it's kind of showing it's showing the people how much he's alienated people. Like you had the perfect co-host, Shannon Sharp, and you literally alienated him to the point where he didn't want to be there no more. You know what I mean? He was kind of. I think a little sense he. I feel like he was getting a little bit mad because I feel like Shannon was starting to become the face. No matter how much Skip Bayless is dominant in the debate world, Shannon Sharp has held his own. You know what I mean? He's becoming a superstar in that field. In his own right. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I know he's kind of mentioned, Young Money and Lil Wayne being more involved in the Undisputed. I don't know how that's going to look. There's also rumors about LaShawn McCoy, Nick Wright, Joy Taylor. I know he had the little meeting with Richard Sherman talking about that. I'll be curious to see how that would go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Skip Bayless, he said his all-time dream would be Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is not leaving TNT, bro, to go debate
No,
your ass. It's not gonna happen. So
not at
um
all.
and as you said, man, they're having a hard time finding people to partner up with Skip because Skip is a he's a unique personality, man. You need another guy who can handle that. You know what I mean? Because Skip could get beat,
Mm-hmm.
Skip could cut. You got to be quick. Shannon was quick. You know what I mean? As far as starts with, off the top of the dome type of stuff. As far as like when the base would start getting heated. So I'm curious to see who ends up being on the show. I think what they're gonna do is I know the rumor is that they're gonna come back the 28th of August or something, so right before
Mm-hmm.
football. I think
Yeah.
they're just gonna probably have a rotation of guys, honestly, and just try to see if they can't find like a solidified replacement. I think what they're gonna do is do the route of try to
First.
go, yeah, do a rotation, see who works, see who doesn't, and try to experiment as they go throughout the
Mm-hmm.
football season, and then maybe by the time NBA playoffs start there or Super Bowl, they might have like a solidified co-host or something like that. So,
Yeah.
who would you want to see as far as like who do
I
you
mean,
think would be a good one out of all the candidates that?
you already know. I think Nick Wright would be golden for
Yeah.
that show. I mean, him and Skip going at it. I mean, you got everything in the makings. He's a LeBron James fan.
Hmm.
We know how Skip feels about LeBron James, so they're gonna
Yeah.
go back and forth on that every time.
Yeah.
Um, he- uh, anything football, whatever they're gonna have their spats or whatever.
For sure. For sure.
So definitely, I would think Nick Wright would be my first choice. He'd be my first. When you said Max Kellerman, it's interesting. Even though I wasn't a big, huge fan of Max Kellerman when he spoke on other sports because he
Hmm.
took too long to get to his point. Like he would
Hmm.
always take us through this whole, soliloquy of something that had nothing to do with the topic, just to get to
Yeah.
his point. And it's
Right.
like,
Right.
stick to boxing, Max.
Yeah. 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 Nah.
talk boxing. I want to hear your football tape.
Nah. Yeah.
So I don't know about Max. I don't know the perfect candidate, really. But I mean, hopefully he gets absolved for this the little situation with the chick who said that Michael Irvin said something to her in the
Nah.
hallway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Michael Irvin, even though I know it would be cowboy talk all the time, but it still would make for good TV. I think.
It would. That cowboy talk would be ridiculous, man. Because
Yeah, right.
the one thing I had a problem with Undisputed was just kind of like the format of the show. Like they would literally take one topic. It would be Cowboys, LeBron, Tom Brady, and that's
Mhm,
pretty much it. They might throw in like a Kevin Durant or a
mhm,
Kyrie Irving in there every day. But when it's football season, every topic minus maybe like one or two for like 15 minutes will be about the Cowboys. You know what I mean? It'll be about Dak Prescott. It'll be about Jerry Jones's news conference. It'll be about back in the day, Zeke. Then the game. Then it's just like, bro, you get burnt out. I would like to see more variety on Undisputed. You know what I mean? Like I think First Take does a pretty good job about it. They have a little
mhm.
bit of variety, except when it comes to like Kyrie Irving topics and stuff like that. But it's becoming a little just dull at this point. I think they need some. I think Shannon was the only thing that was keeping it going with just his personality and people liking him. You know what I mean? But if with just Skip Bayless and the way he does the show, he's gonna need to find somebody that's up to that level or close. Because if not, I think they will start seeing slow declines as far as viewerships with their program. To me.
Yeah, he's got to definitely have, like you said, big personality.
Hmm.
that's original, not like just force feed to us, like a
Yeah,
big personality who can hold their own when Skip cuts deep. Because Skip can cut deep. When he feels like he's losing a debate, he goes low.
yeah, he does.
Like when he did what he used to do it with Shannon all the time.
Yeah.
When he felt like he was losing a debate, he'll assassinate your character just to get his point across.
No,
So
for sure. Yeah. So you got to have that mental fortitude to be able to be like, all right, this is going to happen. Because, I think Richard Sherman, I think he would, I don't know how long he'll last, maybe like a month before he explodes. And then, it might be like,
I don't know.
what I mean? I think
Richard,
so.
honestly, I think Richard Sherman could hold his own because I think he's intelligent enough to understand Skip Bayless and know what Skip Bayless is all about. So
Yeah. But they both will get personal, though. I just think the way Richard Sherman's configured, they're both will go low, and then who knows how that. And you know how Skip Bayless is; he gets super
wait,
sensitive no matter what.
you
Anybody
think
says about him.
Jalen Rose could go over there?
Jalen Rose, that's a good question. I would say yes. Honestly, I would say yes. He has a very monotone kind of style where it's kind of like very chill. I think he definitely has the smarts about it. You know what I mean? He definitely knows his sports for sure. Now will he take it? I don't know. I don't know how his personal relationship or if he even has a relationship with Skip. And I don't even think Skip would probably go for that because I think he wants somebody who will, be competitive with him. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, no, actually, you know what? Jalen Rose did have that little spat with Skip Bayless with the. I forgot about that. Yeah. I don't. Nah, Skip Bayless is definitely not hiring. Skip Bayless.
He exposes high school basketball stats.
Yeah, Pistol Pete. Yeah, Pistol Water Pete. Whatever he said. Nah. Skip Bayless ain't hiring him, dog. Yeah, I'm sure he probably hasn't. Skip Bayless hasn't forgiven Jalen for that comment. You know what I mean? Because we all know Skip, bro. Skip can say the most wildest stuff, but the moment somebody comes back at him, he gets all sensitive in his feelings, and then he wants to get all low or cry about it on TV, like, and then he's going to use his power to, either get rid of you or make you apologize on national TV. You've seen it with multiple guests on his show. You saw it with I forgot the lady's name where they went back and forth. Was it like last year or you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden she disappeared. You got the Shannon thing back when he was on ESPN. You had the Jalen Rose, then the Richard Sherman, then the T.O. You know what I mean? It's just Terrell Suggs. You know what I mean? It's the list goes on at this point, man. So it's just like, his best bet might be Lil Wayne at this point, but I like Weezy and raps, but I don't like him talking about sports, dog. I don't.
Even though surprisingly he does know his stuff.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I just think it's not made for TV as far as like in that type of realm. You know what I mean? I think he would be good for like a YouTube show, like a Cameron Mace type of thing. You know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he would be good in that. Yeah, I agree. All right, brother. Let's talk about KD and the fans.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead and paint this picture for me, brother, because this was the topic that you wanted to speak on.
So it's pretty much just we see it on Twitter all the time where KD is having conversations with fans and all that. Obviously he's definitely a knowledgeable basketball player. He's been in the game, so he knows the ins and outs. But like just some of the terminology that he does when he goes back and forth with fans. It's just kind of like, it kind of throws me off a little bit, like just how dismissive he is with fans being a part of the sport. You know what I mean? You cannot deny the importance of fans in sports. You know what I mean? No matter what sport it is, because let's be honest, without the fans, my brother, you are not making the money you are making. Right. You are not getting the attention that you are, which that can lead to other projects for you to make money, till you establish, until you have a life. Right. And yeah, the players from the past did elevate the league to get noticeable. The Magic Johnsons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Michael Jordans, the Charles Barkleys. Their talent made the fans want to watch the sport. You know what I mean? What was it, back in like the early 80s or something, where they didn't even know if basketball was even the NBA was going to survive.
Yeah.
So
it was the ABA who saved the NBA.
Yeah. So I just think it's at a point right now where it's And then some of it might be trolling. I'm sure some of it is trolling because that's what KD does. You know what I mean? Just going back and forth with fans. But I just think the narrative of being so dismissive with fans, especially in the climate that we are in today with the NBA, with you have superstars sitting out games for no reason. Ticket prices are up like dramatically at this point. You know what I mean? Sometimes just to even get in the building is like $300. And the way the economics are, man, it's tough for people to go to these games. And then when they buy tickets to these games, and then all of a sudden, an hour before tip off, you get the announcement that KD ain't playing, Steph ain't playing, LeBron ain't playing. You know what I mean? It's just like it's kind of a slap in the face to fans. And no matter what they want to feel about it, like you guys are gonna deal with it. I don't think fans should deal with that. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a level of respect on both sides. You know what I mean? The fans should respect the players and what they do, but the players should also respect the fans on what they bring to the game as well. You know what I mean? They bring the excitement, they bring the attention because there's eyes on the sport, and then we just need to have a healthy medium. I just think this could be very detrimental to the progression of the NBA. You know what I mean? Just the way it's going right now. And some players will probably be like, who cares? But me personally, as a fan, it's kind of a little bit of a turnoff, to me. You know what I mean? But that's just kind of what I wanted to say about it with that. I don't know what your thoughts about that is.
I mean, we know that KD is, he's had a love-hate affair with the fans,
For sure.
With the burner accounts and all that stuff. So this is nothing new to the world. He's always getting into it with the fans. He's the opposite of LeBron James. Like LeBron is not going to get on Twitter and spat with you. He may say a little piece on an interview or whatever to kind of eliminate whatever the fans say, but KD gonna get there right there with you try and talk crap right back to you. So that's just, and I mean, do I think it's a little thin skin? I do, because this comes with the territory, brother. Like you are a NBA basketball player. You are a polarizing player. You are a top 5 player in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no question about it. You are a top 5 player in the league, and there are expectations on players like you. So yes, good, bad, indifferent, you're gonna get it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna get the good, and that's the thing about it. They always notice the bad. They never notice the good. Well, since you want to get on Twitter and talk about bashing all these people, why don't you get on Twitter and talk about somebody who just gave you a props on there and told you, oh man, KD's one of the greatest players. Why don't you, retweet them and say, hey man, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching the game. Something like that. Like show some appreciation. Don't worry about they only worry about the negative. They never talk about the positive.
Or properly educate the guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a good thing that he does. I think it's great. I think it's great and healthy for the sport when you have athletes having conversations with fans. I think it's dope that he goes into random spaces and tries to have these conversations. You know what I mean? I think something like that is dope. You know what I mean? Having a healthy conversation. I think when it gets to the point where he starts saying like, "Oh, fans don't mean anything to the game and this and that," you know what I mean? You guys are gonna deal with it and keep it pushing. Especially when it comes to like, because it kind of started off the conversations of Dame and how he doesn't believe that like certain people were believing like the Portland Trailblazers shouldn't trade him to the Heat for the packages that they're trying to get. And his whole message is like the fans are going to be over it no matter what. Like they're excited for Scoot Henderson and the players and the fans are going to move on. And it's like they're going to move on because they are the fans of the Blazers. Don't mean they're going to be happy about it. Don't mean they're going to be happy with, like, obviously you got the benefit of the doubt because you got Scoot Henderson. You got a young, exciting player. Not every fan base gets that. You know what I mean? Especially trading away a superstar talent like Damian Lillard. You know what I mean? You got to go through the doldrums of like not being able to watch. And then that leads to like, look at what happened with Cleveland when LeBron left. You know what I mean? Like no one wanted to watch that goddamn team. You know what I mean?
At all.
So, and then on top of that, and then it's like he got into the whole thing. I want to ask you about that because he made a comment about that offense wins championships, not defense. Well, what do you think about that comment?
Look, this game nowadays, barely anybody plays defense. Let's just keep it 100. Like you see the scores every night. It's 120 to 115. Like
Yeah.
most nights. Like so, defense is like scarce. Like but you got to play a little bit of defense in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You do got to play a little bit of defense in the playoffs, because the game kind of slows down a little bit more in the
Mhm.
playoffs because it's more methodical. Now these are the best teams in the playoffs. The coaches are bringing out their best stuff, so you do have to play some defense. And
Yeah.
yes, do you have to score the ball? Yeah, but you got to stop somebody. At some point, you got to stop somebody.
That's my whole thing. Is like you got to play both sides of the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, the point is to score, but you know what the other point is to stop the other team from
Mhm.
scoring. You know what I mean? So I don't know where that comment came from. I thought that was a little wild, but overall, man, I just think this whole KD thing. I just think, man, some days, man, he just needs to just chill. You know what I mean? Like, just
So,
it's off season, bro. Enjoy vacation. Don't stress out about what people say on the internet all day, every day, my brother. But it is your world, man. You can do what you want. I think it gets a little reckless when players start being so dismissive towards fans and how they claim that they're ignorant, they don't know the game and all that. If you think the comment that they're making is wrong, explain why instead of just being so belittling to certain people when you try to have these conversations.
yeah, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, the fans are the ones that are buying the tickets to come see you
Yeah,
and making sure that you're
still getting a check.
checked. Yeah, for real. So
You know what I mean? Because without fans, you don't get the TV rights deals. You don't get these big TV rights deals that end up, increasing your pay. I'm like, bro, Jalen Brown has a potential to make $70 million his last year on his contract. He has a potential to make over $300 million if he signs this extension. You know what I mean? So it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, you're getting paid all this money. Like, all right, show up on the court. We shouldn't like if you're healthy enough to play on the court. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all you do is playing basketball. You get treatment. You get some of the top treatment in the world. You stay at some of the best hotels in the world. You fly first class wherever you go. Team charter flights, and you're trying to tell me you can't play because you need the rest.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean anymore. You know what I mean? Like they want all this money, but then they want to be so choosy on when they want to play, how they want to play. Um, and then battling against the fans, it's like, bro, that's not causing. You're not helping the game to grow in
no.
a sense. You know
So,
what I mean? You're kind of putting little road bumps along the way because it's like, bro, these are the type of players you want me to root for. These are the type of players you want me to, you know what I mean? Players like a Kawhi Leonard, you know what I mean, who never plays. And God forbid, yeah, it's because of injuries and stuff, like people like that. But you know what I mean? Like you had that whole time when he was in San Antonio when he had the quad, and they were like, he's healthy to play. The team is telling him he's healthy to play, but yet he still doesn't show up. It's kind of crazy to me, you know what I mean? So they're kind of killing players in the future as well when they do stuff like that. That's a whole other conversation we can get into, maybe closer to when the NBA season starts with
mhm.
resting players and stuff like that. So I ain't gonna go too far into that, but that's another topic we need to get into in the future
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Let's switch up to boxing. Well, kind of. Tyson Fury
Oh yeah.
versus Francis Ngannou, whatever
Ngannou,
that is,
yeah. Ngannou,
Ngannou.
yep. Yep.
So that's been announced. I don't know the date, but
I think
that's
it's like
been
October 28th or something like that.
okay. Yeah, but well, that's been announced. Now we've had our gripes about Tyson Fury. He's been ducking. What's the dude's name? I always forget that dude's name.
Oh, Alexander Usyk or something.
It's something like that.
Usyk or something.
Yeah, they he's been ducking fights with him. Uh, I just don't know. Like at this point, I think it's time to take that belt from Tyson Fury. Now, look, as far as Francis Ngannou, I'm not mad at you, brother. You making what 8 million, 10 million from this fight? 10 million? I
Yep.
ain't mad at you, brother. Go get that paper. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care, even if you get knocked out.
Mm-hmm. Nah, yeah.
Go get your money, brother. Because I know they said his last MMA fight made 606,000.
600. 600,000. Yep. That's
Yeah,
it. That's his highest pay in UFC.
so yeah, go get your 10 million, brother. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
knocking you, but as
Mm-hmm.
far as Mr. Tyson Fury goes, dog, you see how boxing is going now. and you are holding the heavyweight stagnant. You're holding it hostage, bro.
Yeah.
Like all the other weight classes are fighting each other now. This is the year that people are actually fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier fighters are fighting in their prime. They're not holding on to the belts and fighting and pivoting and going and moving up weight classes so they don't have to fight this dude. No, they are all fighting each other this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Fury, you need to follow suit or give up the belt and let these other dudes fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I'm tired. Even Wilder and Andy Ruiz, like sign the deal and let's get it going. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
man. Like I get it, Andy Ruiz. You need to just go ahead and sign what they gave you, bro. Because you ain't no A side fighter. You
Nah.
lost them rights when you lost the second
Yeah.
time to AJ. So
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
go ahead, take whatever percentage that Wilder and them was offering you, and go in there and get knocked. You want to get knocked out anyway, so you might as well just get what you can, bro.
Nah, for real. Nah, yeah, I totally agree with you. Honestly, I think at this point, the heavyweight division is a laughing stock at this point. The way things going at this, you know what I mean. And I feel bad for Usyk if I'm, hopefully I'm not butchering his name. You know what I mean. But they had the fight ready. You know what I mean. I think it started off at 60-40. Then Fury was like, all right, man, no, I want 70-30, and you have until this time to do it. Say yes. And if not, we're moving on. My man didn't even wait. He responded within like 15 minutes. He's like, you want 70-30? Fuck it. Let's do it. I want you. I don't care. I want you. I want to whoop that ass. And the next thing you know, Tyson Fury is like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm going to go over here and fight Francis Ngannou. And it's like, no disrespect to Francis. Francis is a hell of a UFC fighter. He's a hell of a mixed martial arts fighter. But he's not a boxer. He's not a pure boxer. You know what I mean? Yeah, can the potential of Francis Ngannou getting one punch knockout on Tyson Fury, is that possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is it highly likely? No. You know what I mean? Because Tyson Fury, all he's gonna do is run around the goddamn the ring and box his ass. You know what I mean? So, and then Francis Ngannou is probably gonna try to do the Deontay Wilder thing and try to hit him, knock him out with the one hitter quitter, and he's just gonna tire himself out. You know what I mean? So Tyson Fury at this point is a fucking joke as a champion to me. Anybody who has him in the top 5 pound for pound, he doesn't need to be. It's a joke at this point. You know what I mean? And it's sad because I think Tyson Fury is a hell of a boxer.
Yeah, he is.
And I think he has a really good shot of beating Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think he has a really good shot at beating Anthony Joshua. He's already beat Deontay Wilder twice in convincing fashion. So, like, what are you running away from, bro? These are big money fights. You think you're making money on Francis Ngannou? You could have made way much more money on Usyk or Anthony Joshua. Had that shit at Wembley. So you'll sell that shit out within the first day. Now you're throwing this Francis Ngannou, bro. Give me a break. You know what I mean? It just sucks because the heavyweight division is supposed to be the crowning division where everybody wants to see, as far as like big time heavyweight boxing fights. From back in the day with the Muhammad Ali's, the George Foremans, the Lennox Lewis's, the Klitschko brothers, all that. You know what I mean? Now we're resorting to this with the top. Like, luckily, a good thing we have a year the way we do. Yeah. You know what I mean? With having these great fights in the welterweight class, middleweight class, and all that. These guys are saving boxing right now. But the heavyweight division is a clear example why boxing was having its problems the years before this. You know what I mean? It's pretty pathetic at this point. You know what I mean? The way Tyson Fury is handling this situation. But, I'm not going to watch this fight. I'm not going to support this fight. Whatever happens. I'm rooting for Ngannou to whoop his ass, so Fury can get the hell out of boxing and do some other shit. If he wants to do the celebrity boxing tour like Floyd Mayweather, do it. But just get rid of the belt, bro, because at this point you don't deserve it. At this point, you holding this place hostage. Give other people a chance to have the opportunity to be champion. You know what I mean? There's some up and coming young boxers. Who was the guy that fought a couple weeks ago?
Jared Allen or
Jared Anderson. So and I know he had a little tough fight, but he's an up and coming big time boxer that's coming up. You know what I mean? So it's about time they need to. And then what division was it? WBO was
I think so.
WBO, grow some fucking balls and strip the belt. Grow some balls and strip the belt. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all waiting for? Y'all pansy into this dude like he's like the savior of fucking boxing. He's not the savior of boxing. You have all these other boxers. You have the Canelos, the Terrence Crawfords, the Errol Spence. I could go on and on and on, and more up and coming fighters. Tyson Fury is just a small peg to the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, he may be big overseas, but he don't mean shit over here in America.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So come on, man, grow some balls, WBO. Whoever's running that shit, man, and strip this man of the belt.
That's the problem with boxing anyway. It's too many damn belts.
I think Errol Spence was talking about that, and I totally agree with him, man. Like, you need to limit it. Just have a fucking heavyweight title, middleweight title, lightweight title, and whatever else. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need a WBO, IBF, WBC, ABC, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You don't need all these. It's
ringmaster champion. Like it's
bro, like it gets confusing. That's why the average person who tries to watch boxing, like, all right, who's the fucking champion? This man has 4 belts, and he has 4 belts. Where the fuck all these belts coming from, dog? You know what I mean?
Then they got the eliminator. They got the eliminator, the number 1 contender. They got a belt too.
Yeah. And then next they're gonna have a BET belt and an MTV belt.
Yeah,
hell, we're gonna make a belt. We're gonna make the Cris Style and Mal boxing belt too.
Yeah, there's way too many belts in boxing, man. They need to stop it, man. Yeah. On to other news in boxing. So this past weekend, Alycia Bumgardner, she fought Christina Leonardo, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Leonardo. That was the one chick that actually gave her only loss on her record.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she won in dominating fashion. You know, it was a hard fought bout, but she pretty much dominated the fight. And so, you know, Alycia Bumgardner, she's been, you know, having a great year. She ended off last year with a great year, and then she's coming into 2023 having a great year in boxing. So I'm not gonna sit there and act like I know all the players in boxing. Like, I know her, I know Clarissa Shields, I think it's Kayla Taylor, whatever, the girl the chick that Clarissa Shields was just yapping at. They was just going at it in the press conference. She just had a fight, but she talked about she gonna fight her again at 168. So I know that there's some up and coming. I know there's a Mexican chick, I forgot her name, but she's pretty good too. But I think it's good for the sport of boxing that the women are holding it down, man. And, you know, shout out to Alycia Bumgardner, man. She did her thing, man. I watched a little bit. I watched a little bit of the fight. The girl could take a punch, man, because she was getting hit with some bombs, and she was just right back on her, hitting her with them hooks, man. She got them nice hooks. So it was a good fight. Then Frank Martin, he fought what's his name?
Artem Heridian or something. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not gonna try to butcher it.
Now, a lot of people were saying that, you know, he didn't win in dominating fashion that they thought he was going to win. It was a little bit tougher. He did knock him down, I think, in the 12th round. He knocked dude down. So I'm not going to sit up here and dig on Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? It was probably a step up in competition. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's going to happen when you step up in competition. You get a taste. He's still a young dude. He's still learning. You know what I'm saying? He'll take away from this fight and get better. You know what I'm saying? I still think that he's still an up and coming star that can, you know, be a contender in this lightweight division, at 135 division, which stacked. I think he could be a player in there and eventually fight, you know, a Tank or a Shakur Stevenson. I think his best bet would probably to fight like maybe a Bulldog, Isaac Cruz. I think that would be a good fight for him to get in there and test his. If he can beat Isaac Cruz, then he's ready for a Tank and the Shakur Stevenson and all those guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'll start with Alycia. I think Alycia looked great. You know what I mean? I watched a little bit of the fight and some highlights. Well, she throws great combos, great powerful combos, bro. She was doing that well. I think she had a couple slow rounds in the middle. I think she usually does that with every fight, but she finishes strong all the time. Man, I think she's one of the best women boxers in the game today. So we'll see how she does. I said I'm not really too familiar with the names that are up and coming in the women's boxing. I need to, and I'm going to.
Mhm.
I said I know about Katie Taylor. I know about Clarissa Shields. I know about the other. I forgot her name. White chick. I forgot her name. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited to see who she fights next. Hopefully she gets a big time fight so she can get really good, get paid for real. Frank Martin. I'm not really too worried about Frank, bro. Every boxer I feel like has like a certain type of style that gives him a little bit of trouble. At the end of the day, he got the win. A win's a win.
Mhm.
As I said, I agree with you. I think Isaac Cruz would be a great matchup for him. I think he needs to get another one or two more boxing fights before he can start really clamoring for Javante and
Mhm.
Shakur Stevenson and stuff like that. I don't think he's ready for that just yet.
Yeah.
Um, if he gets the opportunity, good for him. I don't think so with kind of the route how I think it's gonna go with Javante now coming out of prison. I think we're gonna start getting real heated talks about who he's gonna be fighting next year in the next month or so. Possibly Devin Haney. Yeah, overall I think it was a really great weekend for boxing. We just count down the days at this point for the main event. So but yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Alicia, shout out to Frank, shout out to both of them. Great wins for them, and excited to see who they fight in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go off a little track, go off sports for a little bit, man. There is
Oh,
a now we all know the writers have went on strike, but now actors are going on strike.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think they're called what SAG.
Sag, yep.
The
Mm-hmm.
SAG, they've come together, and now these actors are going on strike.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the dude who playing the Blue Beetle. He said he's not promoting his movie. I think the dude's playing Willy Wonka. He's not promoting his movie.
Yeah.
There's been delays in movies, shows. Um, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie's been delayed now. Yeah, there's been countless shows that have been delayed.
Mm-hmm.
So this it's starting to get serious now, and you hear these guys speaking out against some of these top, companies who put these movies on. These executive producers, and companies, New Line Cinema and
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, and all them saying that they're making all this money and giving out crumbs. I saw today. I don't know those of y'all who watch Orange Is the New Black. The one of the actresses on there who she was on like 40 episodes. She only made like they said she was only making like $27.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that. Like, I heard about this dude. He was like the barber in Insecure. I think he was dating Issa at the time on the
Mm.
show. Yeah, he said he got about 50 residual checks and made only about $50. You
Yeah,
know what I
so
mean? So
and the way it
yeah,
was breaking down, it was like because I've done music and I put my music on Apple Music before, and when they pay you, it's like pennies, like it's like 0.0008, point
yeah,
0027, like
hmm
it's little to nothing money, and
yeah,
that's how her stuff broke down. It was almost like they used like the streaming algorithms to
yeah,
to pay her, which is
yeah.
crazy. So I think this whole situation is messy. And hopefully they could, come to some type of resolution so,
Yeah.
we can get our movies, man, and our shows, bro.
Nah, yeah, nah. Like this is the first time I think since the 1960s that this has happened.
Mhm.
As far as like both of them striking, the writers and the actors. They're what the union wants, man. They want better pay, better benefits, streaming residuals, and obviously protection from AI use. You know what I mean? From they have certain things where maybe it might be where you have this actor do this one scene, they might be able to take that likeness and use it for other
Mhm.
movies without them knowing or without having any knowledge about it and stuff like that. And that could be kind of scary. You know what I mean? Like as you said, you kind of see it with music too, especially with the streaming. How how they I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know how they do the math on how people get paid. Obviously,
Nobody
people
knows.
aren't. Nobody knows. So it's kind of crazy. Like streaming is the new wave as far as like TV. That's how a lot of people are getting these shows now off of these streaming services. You know what I mean? I know
Mhm.
I saw a graphic where they kind of showed some Hollywood execs earnings over the past 5 years. I wrote down three. Like you have David Zaslav. He's the guy for Warner Brothers. He made $500 million in the last 5 years. Ari Emanuel, he's the one for Endeavor Group. He made about 346 million. And then Reed Hastings, Netflix guy, he made over 209 million. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy how you see the top guys making this kind of money, but then you got the writers, cameramen, makeup artists, even actors not making the type of money that these programs and these shows are making for these TV networks and these TV companies. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping they get what they deserve at the end of the day, because you kind of see this all across workforces. You know what I mean? You know, you kind of see it with, you got, culinaries and stuff like that out here that are fighting for new contracts and stuff like that. You got stuff in the music industry where you have a lot of artists who are making money, who are making their ends meet. They kind of make their money off of tours and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Which is kind of sad. You know what I mean? You're this type of person who creates this thing from nothing to something, whether you're a writer, actor, whatever, and you can't even. You see the product that you created in millions of homes, making so much money for this company, but yeah, you see so little of it in return. It's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? It's kind of like in reality, man. It's kind of like they're kind of trying to eliminate the middle class and kind of all facets of life, you know what I mean? Which is it's scary times, especially with AI coming very more frequently, very fast. I think COVID played a huge role in speeding up the process as far as like you seeing companies how like during COVID, how they were operating on low costs, you know what I mean? Low labor costs, low costs for product and stuff like that. And they're still kind of running it the same way, even now when things are booming. And, it's crazy to see. So I think across the board, no matter what profession you in, you got to take notice of what's going on in your profession, in your career. If you're in a unionized kind of position, you know what I mean? Like if you can fight it, because you don't want to wait when it's too late. You know what I mean? And it's coming fast. This AI technology is coming fast. Companies, hard times are coming quick, especially, I still believe the recession is coming up soon, especially with everything, with inflation and all that. So yeah, I hope they get what they deserve, man. It's definitely scary times right now for sure.
Yeah, for real. For real. Prayers to all those actors and writers out there who deserve every penny that they deserve, you know what I'm saying? For
Absolutely.
creating all this, these good content that we watch, whenever we want to watch them,
Yeah, another thing, I don't want to cut you off, but another
Go
thing,
ahead.
podcast too. Podcasting the unionized too. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're new to the game. Not so much as you, because I know you have your other podcasts as well. But just with this one, alone, man, I think podcasts should also start thinking about unionizing too. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of hard figuring out how you get paid off of certain things. You know what I mean? Even though you do it for love, but still.
I mean, they've been talking about it for years in hip hop, trying to find a way to do a union in hip hop to help not only help the current artists, but also help past artists, all pioneers. You don't want to see Cool Herc and all these old school dudes and Melly Mel and all them struggling because they the ones that laid the ground and foundation for us to do this music. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with the podcasters, the pioneers who started this stuff. You want to be able to take care of them and everybody across the board.
And future ones too. Yeah.
So definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, this past week, Netflix debuted a new show called Quarterback.
Yeah.
Where they followed 3 quarterbacks, in their daily lives and the behind the scenes, getting prepared for the NFL season, during the season, all that good stuff. Now they follow Patrick Mahomes, who's most considered the best quarterback in the league. You got Kirk Cousins, who's a solid, good quarterback. You put enough around him, he can win. You know what I'm saying? The knock on him is he's bad in primetime games, but he's still a good, solid quarterback. If you put Kirk Cousins on most teams, he will make your team better. And then you got Marcus Mariota, who's a former failed first-round pick. Been kind of a journeyman backup guy. He started last year for the Falcons, didn't work out. Now he's back up for the Eagles.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts of this series?
So my initial thoughts, I made it to episode 4. I didn't get a chance to finish it, but overall, man, I love this show, man. I think it's a great way to get eyes and to see how players, go throughout their week to week ways of during the season, man. I think a lot of fans love to see stuff like that. No, I know I do. I'm always curious to know what these guys do to get their bodies ready and stuff like that. I thought episode 3 was probably it's probably the favorite ones I've seen so far. Just kind of seeing how those guys take care of their bodies. You kind of see the thing with I know for sure this show has definitely made me like Kirk Cousins a lot more.
Yeah,
I know I it makes me be like, I really would like to see that guy win. You know what I mean? Because you see this guy, like, I think it was the Bills game where he literally has like broken ribs, whatever was going on. This man screaming in pain. They're down 10 to 27, and then they come back and win. That also showed how great Justin Jefferson was with that catch, which that catch was one of the craziest catches I've ever seen, next to like an Odell style.
Right.
But man, overall, man, like Cousins is amazing. Just seeing the backup. I kind of feel bad for Mariota, man, because you kind of see like the end of not to say his career, because I think he will always have an opportunity to be a backup, but just kind of like the sense of him not getting starting opportunities like that anymore. It kind of sucks. I was a Marcus Mariota fan. I always liked him when he was at Oregon and stuff like that. He did play for my Raiders last year. So, and then when he did play the times he did, he played pretty good, for what he was asked to do. So
right.
Your boy Mahomes.
Here you go.
Nah. At the end of the day, Mahomes, man, it just shows how great this guy is, man. Just how physical freak he is, and he's definitely one of the all-time greats. He pissed me off with the first episode with the whole Max Crosby getting in his face, like, "Oh man, don't punch me!" Hey, like, shut up.
And it's funny. I think it's episode 5 when they show us playing you again.
Oh, okay.
And I get when he's trying to throw the ball, and Max Crosby, he kind of chops him in the back of the head.
Oh, word! I gotta see that.
And he's like, "Hey, man, come on, man. You chopped me in the back of the head, bro. Come on, man. You can't do stuff like that."
Yeah.
That's gonna be. I just think that's gonna be just one of those things for you. As long as Max Crosby is on the team, like, stay there. Y'all keep him.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's gonna be a one of those things for years.
Oh yeah, I think they're really good friends anyway. Though,
yeah, no, they are, because even afterwards, it was just like, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to hit you in the back of the head. I wasn't trying to hit you, man. It's all love. And he was like, all right, for sure. So
it's all game.
Like, but I think it's just gamership, you know what I'm saying? Raiders, Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's just one of those battles that's going to be like Warren Sapp and Brett Favre, you know what I'm saying? One of those things. So
for sure, Max Crosby's coming, man. Like he's one of the better defensive line players. For sure.
Definitely.
Just hearing Patrick Mahomes talk shit, it's a little weird, you know what I mean, with his voice, you know what I mean, Mr. I'm here, you know what I mean. So
man, coming, baby.
Yeah, whatever. So I'm a Raider fan, but I say I'm always gonna speak the truth. Like, he's one of the greats, so it's dope. Yeah, hopefully they continue. I'm definitely gonna finish this series, and I don't know if you finished it yet, but
I still got to do the last episode.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch some probably later today. I got caught up watching that show, The Bear. Man, that show's watch that. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's good. But anyways, back to the point. I'm definitely curious to see future quarterbacks doing future episodes. Hopefully they continue to do this. I know this show is ran by Peyton Manning's company, I think. So I think he's doing great things. So I would like to ask you, who would you like to see if they did another season? Who would you like to see on the next season, as far as like the three you would like to see?
I mean, of course, I think they should keep it with the top tier 1 quarterbacks. A mid-tier, that 16, 17, 12 to 17 quarterback. And then, I think they should do rookies.
I think rookies would be dope. Yeah.
Do a rookie who's coming in. He's a first round pick rookie who's coming in his first year, getting acclimated to the NFL and everything that he has to go through, learning the playbook, getting acclimated to his teammates, trying to be a leader. And he's the young, he's the youngest one, and his interaction with the head coach and all that stuff. I think that would take it to another level. No disrespect to the, Marcus Mariota, but I think if you just insert a rookie there instead, I think that would make the show like.
So who would you like to see? Give me 3 names. Give me 3 names you would like to see next year if they do it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Allen. See what he goes through. I think he would be interesting enough. Even Joe Burrows, Jalen Hurts, but I heard he turned it down. Lamar Jackson, definitely. I would love to see Lamar Jackson, and then probably the mid tier, Geno Smith, maybe a Jimmy G. You know what I'm saying? I can see Jimmy G being interesting, especially his lifestyle or whatever, and see if what he puts in. Like, how does Jimmy G prepare for an
Right,
NFL season?
right, right.
And then, like I said, you could like this past season they could do Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or even Anthony Richardson. One of those three quarterbacks. Just following them and seeing how they get acclimated.
Yeah.
And then next year you come in with a Caleb Williams or a Drake May or one of those guys. To come in and show. Them getting acclimated to the NFL. Schedule and like I said, playbook and all that stuff. So, yeah, those are some of the names I would like to see.
I would like if I had to choose three, like next year, I would love to see Lamar Jackson on the high end. I would love to see. I know he can be a high end, but I'm just gonna put him in the mid tier just because of everything that's going on with him. I would love to see Kyle Murray, just kind of see him getting back into coming off the injury, his progression back into the league.
They're actually doing a Netflix series on him.
Okay, like I think that would be good, man. Because I think Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback. It's just the injury. They had the bad year last year, and then it's going to be kind of curious, especially with the Cardinals. If they do get the number one pick, he could be a potential trade asset for next year. So, to see him, maybe seeing that whole journey of him, maybe transitioning into a new team, I think that would be dope. And as far as like the younger guys, I would definitely like to see. I would like to see either a rookie or like a first year. I don't mind the Mariota one because you kind of get to see. It's kind of sad to watch though in some sense, just kind of like the transitioning out of the league. You know what I mean? Not saying Marcus Mariota is that, but I think that story should be told as well. Not just rookies. I think it should be like a mix of like rookies and situations like that, depending on the story. But I would like to see like kind of like maybe like a Malik Willis, like, what I mean? Just kind of see that story because I think I think he is getting a short end of the stick. My man's only had 1 year. Like, you didn't even give this man a chance to even develop. Like, this man, you knew when you drafted him, he wasn't going to be ready the first year. Yeah. So for you to quit on him, I think it's kind of a joke on the Titans end, me personally.
But I don't think Mike Vrabel ever wanted him in the first place.
Then why'd you draft him though? That's my whole thing though.
I think that was a GM move. I think the GM wanted him. I don't think Vrabel wanted him because the reason why I say that is because preseason he was actually playing decent in preseason. He was making the throws that he needed to make, and what do most running quarterbacks do their rookie season? They're gonna run. That's what they do. They're comfortable in it. Justin Fields did it last year. Lamar Jackson did it for years. So that's what they're comfortable with because it's freakish athletes. They're fast, and he won the game. Yeah, he won. Yeah. And Vrabel was mad. I didn't like it because I wanted him to throw the football a little bit more. It's like, dude, come on, man. Yeah. The kid won. Like,
I just think either way, I just think it's kind of a joke to me because you drafted this kid, no matter if you wanted him or not, you're not really giving him a fair opportunity. And now it's kind of like it's scary moments for him because he has a possibility of being out of the league and he ain't even been in the league for 3-4 years yet, which I believe he deserves. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you draft a guy, Will Levis, who to me is not much better. And from what I'm hearing, Malik Willis has been out schooling him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I would get it if, in a sense of like if it was the Titans and they had the opportunity to get a Bryce Young, to get a Caleb Williams or something. Then it's like, okay, those guys you cannot pass up because you don't know, but you would have a sense that they're going to be better quarterbacks no matter if Malik Willis develops or not. You know what I mean? So I kind of get in a sense, but you drafting a bad quarterback for another one makes no sense. Like let my man just develop until you get behind Ryan Tannehill. You still have Ryan Tannehill. Right. So now you got this whole Ryan Tannehill situation with Malik Willis and Will Levis. You drafted Will Levis, but now Will Levis is looking like hot ass on minicamp. I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to do for training camp. I really want to see how he does for the preseason. I think preseason is going to be, I know usually it's boring. Like I'm not really a big preseason guy. I think they're pretty much yawners and stuff. But for some teams this year, I'm going to be very curious to see how certain rookies play. Like I'm very curious. I would like to see how Anthony Richardson looks. Right. I'm not really worried about Bryce Young. I'm going to wait more so for the regular season to see how he looks. And even then, I'm not going to really judge him too harshly because it is his rookie year. And then Will Levis. I want to see how he does that whole quarterback competition between Levis and Malik Willis. So I'm kind of curious about that one too.
Yeah, I agree.
And
You
Justin
know,
Fields. I like to see how
yeah.
Justin Fields if you learn how to throw a football either too.
Okay, for sure. But good transition, good segue. D Hop has signed to the Tennessee Titans for a 2 year. It was 26 million with 32 million in incentives.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like how much was that 15 million guaranteed, I think, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
So he took the deal with the Titans. What Jeremy Fowler was reporting was that yes, the Chiefs were in contact with him, but initially he didn't have the patience to wait for Chris Jones' deal to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And look at this deal. The Chiefs was never going to give him that type of money.
No, he wasn't getting that nowhere else.
Even if Chris Jones deal got done, we would not give him. The Buffalo Bills weren't going to give him that money. None of
No,
them top teams was going to give him 2 years, 32 million in incentives. Like, nah,
no,
no,
no.
no, 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 no. You was going to have to go to a mid tier or bad team to get that type of money, and that's what he did. Now, can he make the Tennessee Titans better? Of course. They needed a receiver. They needed a number one receiver. And now they got him. They got Traylon Burks. You still got Derrick Henry in the backfield. Say what you want about Tannehill. Do I think Tannehill's a great quarterback? No, but he's solid. He can
Mm-hmm.
win you games, and he's proven to win games. It's what
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't but 2 years ago.
It made
They
to the
were
AFC.
the number one seed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So so they if Vrabel's one of the top tier coaches in his league. Say what you want about Vrabel. Vrabel's a very very good coach.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
the Titans always give it's something about that AFC South. They always give us problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
every time we play the Tennessee Titans, we always have issues. The Colts always give us issues. So
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think he definitely will help. D Hop will definitely help the Tennessee Titans. Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No, but they will be interesting to see them against Jacksonville and in that division. And I could see them getting a wild card. I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tennessee. Their defense is always good. So yeah, I'm not mad at Tennessee, and I'm not mad at D Hop for taking this money because this is probably going to be his last big deal that he gets. So shout out to D Hop, get your money, man, because in this NFL they don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? So I actually like the move. What's your thoughts?
I'm not mad at it, honestly. I think D Hop, I don't think he moves the needle a little bit for me. Nothing crazy though. I think in the sense of, especially with that whole fiasco at the quarterback position with the Titans, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
kind of interesting to see. Yeah, I say get your money, get your bag, but he was kind of preaching he wanted to win the whole time when he was like doing that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, why'd you even say it? You know what I mean? If you really wanted to win, take the cut.
These players are liars.
I know they are liars. I know they are liars. Just don't say anything, bro. Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Just be like, yo,
They
I'm
don't.
looking at all avenues for teams. You know what I mean? So, but either way, I think it gives them a viable option for a receiver. I said Derrick Henry, as you said, Derrick Henry's still there. They still got Traylon Burks and all that. Ryan Tannehill is obviously a serviceable quarterback. He can get hot if he has one of them hot streaks. He can put up some numbers. Do I think it moves the needle at all? No, I think Jacksonville is still head above shoulders with them. I still think the division is terrible. I think the Titans defense is kind of up and down depending on what's going on. Can they get a wild card? We'll see. I haven't looked at their schedule, so I don't know how really tough it is. You know what I mean? But shout out to D Hop, man. You got at least $26 million more in your bank
Yeah,
account,
for sure.
and this is gonna be your last big contract. You know what I mean? He could have used it. I think if he really wanted to win, because how old is D Hop? Like 31,
Yeah,
30?
31. He's 31.
I know some people are like, man, he could have went to like Kansas City or maybe Philly, take a cheap, but get your numbers back up and then kind of show people that you're still an elite receiver and then possibly get a bigger bag, next year. But overall, I guess I can't be mad. When you get the numbers put in front of your face, you want the money bread now,
Yeah,
help solidify more. So, good move for the Titans, see how it goes.
yeah,
That's kind of my feels about it.
yeah, most definitely. All right, man. Let me ask you a question. Are the
Yep.
running backs being devalued?
Uh,
Now, today, Saquon Barkley didn't come up. They didn't come close to a deal. Josh Jacobs didn't come close to a deal,
No,
and they still have to sign their franchise tag. Don't look like neither one of them is coming to camp.
they're holding
So
out. Yeah, they
they're
announced
holding
that.
out.
Mhm.
They are holding out because running backs are being devalued. I read it. I showed you, I think last week, that Bijan Robinson, rookie, now hasn't played one snap yet, is going to make more cash than any running back in the NFL this year.
Crazy.
At like 13.56 or something like that.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So a running back who's never played a snap, a meaningful snap at all, not even a preseason game, man, is
Mm-hmm.
making more than Christian McCaffrey and all these dudes
Yeah.
making more cash.
Yeah.
That is
crazy.
crazy. And they are devaluing that position more and more and more and more. Where they, now we have this thing where it's running back by committee now. You
Mhm.
got guys saying, "Oh, I can get a running back in the 5th round." Hell, we got our running back in the 7th round last year, and Isaiah Pacheco. So,
Yeah.
and we find it, and every year we find these diamond in the rough guys that come out of these small colleges or come out of college and run for over 1,000 yards, and they run them to the ground, and they rotate them with somebody else. So,
Yeah.
and if you don't have all the attributes, if you can't catch the football out of the backfield, you're really devalued because now you're just a pure running back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on running backs being devalued?
I think it's nuts. You know what I mean? I think it's very disrespectful. Especially like cats like Saquon. Like, pay Saquon. Saquon is your goddamn offense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna pay Daniel Jones $40 million, but you're not gonna pay your best player on your goddamn team on offense or defense. And you're not gonna pay. Like, it's crazy to me, dog. Like, it kind of shows, like, as younger players coming up, why do I need to play running back? You know what I mean? Why do you need to? Like, you already have Austin Eckler already complaining because he's like, look, like, I get more touches, I produce more, I give you touchdowns, I even give you goddamn fantasy points for our fans. But yeah, you got a third string wide receiver making more money than me? That's crazy, dog. Like, it's wild. Like, I love Bijan Robinson. I think he's gonna be great, but there's no way in hell he should be making more money than all these guys. He shouldn't be making more money than Christian McCaffrey. He shouldn't be making more money than Derrick Henry. It's crazy. Josh Jacobs needs to get paid. Without Josh Jacobs, I know we got Zaire White, but he really didn't show anything last year but Josh Jacobs had one of the better years in for a running back last year. He was killing it,
Yeah.
So, I think that's gonna hurt. Kind of like, especially, I think it's gonna hurt both teams, honestly, because I think, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he needs that running game to help him do the off the play action.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of crazy right now. I get it, with the whole, how they're saying you can find one in the 7th and all that, but I think they should pay these players as they're used. You know what I mean? If he's the main part of your offense, you're giving him 300 plus touches and he's producing, pay him like he deserves to be paid. Right. You know what I mean? If he's not producing like Ezekiel Elliott, okay, I understand. You can move on because you got Tony Pollard and stuff like that. But the Saquon Barkleys, the Josh Jacobs, they're still young they're still young running backs. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Austin Eckler's a little bit older, you know what I mean? So I can get how that could be a little bit iffy. But overall, man, it's getting to a point where it's like, why should I even play the running back position? You know what I mean? At this point, like, why?
Yeah, I agree, man. It's a sad thing because I remember the days of Barry Sanders Emmitt Smith and
Adrian Peterson,
LT, Danian Thomason and Priest Holmes, and Jamal Charles, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These dudes was putting it in, getting 27 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards and making quarterback money back then. Now these dudes is making penny to the dollar. And if they get that second contract, if they get the second,
Ziegler pay Josh Jacobs, dog. Pay him at least for like 2 more years. Pay him. Right, you know what I mean? There's ways to do it. These front offices, man, they do a lot of creative stuff with the cap as it is, man. You can't tell me you can't find a way to not pay these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can. So they
want to be hard headed. They want to see what they can get away with, but especially with both of these teams, with the Raiders and Giants, if they don't make it to that week one, they're gonna see that their offenses don't look the same without these guys. You know what I mean? And to me, I think they'll help their case in getting paid. So
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
That's definitely. Well, all right, man. Let's end this off strong.
Okay.
Now we've been hearing Asante Samuel and Darrell Revis, and all these guys chirping on who are the best quarterbacks of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, how about we come together and make a top 10 list?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go first, brother.
Okay. So obviously some of these players I have not seen in real life, but I did my research, and this is kind of the list I went, So I'm gonna start 10, go down. I got number 10, Darryl Green.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, I got Mel Blount. Number 8, Aeneas Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, I got Willie Brown. 6, Mike Haynes. 5, Darrell Revis. 4, Champ Bailey. 3, Charles Woodson. 2, Rod Woodson. And then number 1, Deion Sanders. That is my list.
Nice. That's a nice list. I like that list. All right, I'm gonna go number 10, Jalen Ramsey. Number 9, Ty Law. Number 8, I got Aeneas Williams too. 7, I got Charles Woodson. 6, I got Mel Blount. 5, I have Darryl Green. 4, I got Rod Woodson. 2, I got Darrell Revis, and 1, I got Deion Sanders.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. You know what I mean? I think overall, man, they got a lot of good cornerbacks. You know what I mean? I kind of do in the sense of like, not to disrespect the older guys, in the generation, but at the end of the day, man, some of these receivers that some of these cornerbacks are going against are like freak athletes nowadays compared to what they look like back in like the 80s and the 70s and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was looking at a video at Mel Blount. Mel Blount was nasty, big cornerback. You know what I mean? I think he was like the first cornerback to, win Defensive Player of the Year in one of his years. You know what I mean? So overall, I think, consistency, Deion Sanders is one of the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? So
I think, Deion Sanders is the greatest. He's the bar.
For sure.
Darrell Revis had his moment where he was just locking down the top tier receivers in the league. They weren't getting nothing off of him. Champ Bailey was just a monster. Like when he was with Denver, I couldn't stand his ass, but he was a beast.
He was a beast. Yeah, he was a beast. Charles Woodson was killing. You know what I mean?
When he was with y'all Raiders and he was playing, because when he was with Packers, he was more of a free safety.
Yeah,
when he was with you guys, he was a corner and he was a beast. Rod Woodson, self-explanatory. Mel Blount, like you said, was a monster. Big dude. He would hit. He would put some hits on some guys.
Yeah, for real.
Aeneas Williams was great with the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Small guy, but, real good, fast, can take the ball. Ty Law, when he was with the Patriots, he was, an interception machine.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Ramsey, I think, is the best of this decade in this era.
Like, you know what? I did forget about Jalen. I think if I redid it, I think he might have made my top 10.
Yeah, I think Jalen might have made my top
10.
He's the best of this decade and era. You know what I'm saying? So I think.
Yeah. I don't know who I would take out though.
Now, some young guys that I'm looking at are, of course, Sauce Gardner. Jair Alexander, I like him.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tyreek Woolen, you got Derek Stingley Jr., you got DJ Reed, you got some guys out here.
Yeah, you got some new draft guys, with Christian Gonzalez and I forgot my other man's name from Illinois.
Donovan Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. So yeah, man. It's at the end of the day, man.
Patrick Surtain.
He's nice. Patrick Surtain, I think he has the potential to make the list in the future for sure.
Asante Samuel Jr. is good. There's some guy AJ Terrell for the Falcons. I think is pretty good. Like there's some guys out here. Man.
So what you think about the whole back and forth with Asante Samuel and Darrell Revis? Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's consensus that Darrell Revis was a better corner than Asante Samuel.
Yeah,
but Asante Samuel was nasty. He was good when he was with the Eagles. He was good when he was with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what other team he played. He played for a few teams, but he was good. He was a solid, very good corner. Would I call him great? No, I don't think he was great, but I think he was very good. Very good corner, starting corner, you know what I'm saying, that can get you some picks, you know what I'm saying. He was a good ball hawk. But
Yeah.
would I call him the best? No, I don't think he was the best. I don't think he was top tier worthy, should I say?
Yeah, I just thought it was pure entertainment how they just went back and forth for like 2 days.
No, it seems like everybody's going back and forth with the Real Regas, so I don't know.
It's slow times right now, man. Sports is at a doldrum right now, so training camp starting soon, so it should be exciting times for starting next week. So it should be
Yeah,
cool.
we're about to get it. All right, brother, man. Another great episode in the books, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and land this thing. Let you guys know that Cris Style and Mal podcast is available on all streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, whatever you use to stream your podcast on. Cris Style and Mal is on there.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever media platform that you use, you can follow us on Cris Style and Mal at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook, and Threads. You can follow us on all 5 of those social media apps. Hit us up. We'll hit you back, man. We'll follow you back because we are fans just like you. We regular guys. We got regular 9-to-5 jobs just like you guys, man. We just trying to give y'all good sports entertainment and content. So hit us up. Give us feedback. Whether, you know what I'm saying, you feel like we need to work on some things or some stuff you want us to talk about, whatever. Hit us up, man. And it don't even have to be sports. It could be just regular topics. You know what I'm saying? Just hit us up. And if it's within reason, we will talk about it. So hit us up, man.
Oh yeah. And before we leave, I didn't do it this week, but next week we're gonna get into how my man is still having a PS4, and we need to get this man a PS5.
You know
need
what?
him to upgrade.
I got kids, man. I got kids, man.
Bro, get up with the ages, my guy. We need to get you a PS5, kids. Bro. Come on,
I got kids, man.
Yo, so I'm about to start a GoFundMe for this guy, man, so we can get him a goddamn PS5, man. Come on, y'all. Let's all pull together. Let's get my man Chris a PS5.
I got 4 kids, man. Actually, 5.
They could all have lemonade stands. You could have a goddamn PS5 within the next week, especially how hot this shit is.
I can't get one. I got things I gotta take care of, man. Priorities, man. Priorities.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. I just gotta give you a hard time.
And shout out to Clarence and Ty who keep talking trash about me, about my PS5 4.
Boy, that shit humming like a Boeing 77, huh?
It's not humming. It doesn't hum. Mine doesn't hum like
it doesn't hum. Nope. It don't make the loud noise.
No, it don't. They don't do that. It don't sound like a vacuum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, boy. It should be hella loud, boy.
You gonna stop talking about my PlayStation 4, man.
Come on, man. We need to upgrade you to the white controller, bro. Get you one of these, bro.
I'm gonna get one day. I'm gonna get one day. Don't worry.
No, we definitely for sure. I gotta whip your ass in some of these games, bro. Mortal Kombat coming out soon. Street Fighter out now. Yeah. Madden coming out soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry, people. I'm giving me a PlayStation 5 one day.
All right, man.
One day. Well, all right, brother. Until next time, Cris Style and Mal, we are out.
Peace.